Coming up on Mountain News this morning, communities work around the clock to clean up neighborhoods devastated by last week's flooding. And people across the region try to salvage what they can of their homes and businesses that have been damaged or destroyed.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It is almost 5 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you for waking up with us this morning. And let's head over to Brandon Robinson this morning for a look at our forecast. Brandon, I think people were probably going to expect to wake up to some rain in the forecast, but our producer told me this morning that system that you all were expecting to come over here kind of stalled. Is that right?
It stalled for the moment, but
yeah.
We've been looking at live pinpoint Doppler radar for just a little bit, and it looks like it's trying slowly to work its way toward us. We'll see if it plays out, but right now still dry for the moment. Know a lot of folks are waking up expecting to see some of that heavy rain out there, but so far we have been blessed and fortunate. And here's the thing: if it doesn't hit, I'll take the loss on this one. I don't want any more issues this morning like we've had the last several days. So right now, dry in the mountains, so that's pretty good news. The flood watch does continue though until 9 o'clock this morning for the entire region. So we're going to keep a very close eye on things as we get deeper into the daytime hours. Temperatures 60s and 70s from 68 to actually 67 in Clintwood to 75 Prestonsburg, Moorhead, and Somerset. Just noticed 76 over in Wayne, West Virginia. We'll keep an eye on that as well this morning. Temperatures basically where they were this time yesterday. Touch warmer in some areas like Ashland and Prestonsburg, 4 degrees warmer and 5 degrees warmer in Logan this morning. Again, back and forth rain chances, I do believe, follow us into the early parts of the day. It may not materialize. I'd be okay if it didn't. But again, I think those temperatures stay steady right there in the low 70s. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, the Wayland community of Floyd County was one of the many communities hit hard by last week's flooding. Homes, vehicles, businesses, and more were devastated by floodwaters, leaving many in the area wondering what is next. After days of work, cleaning up, clearing out, and trying to move forward, families in the area spent the day yesterday on high alert, worried the waters would return because of the rain.
Some of the young kids out here have been there a year or two, and they lost everything. That one boy and girl been over there 2 years, and they said they ain't coming back. They left for good. They carried the TV out and said we won't be back.
Though the levels rose over Mill Creek Road yesterday, unexpectedly cutting those people off again, it didn't get nearly as bad as Thursday. People in Knott County are cleaning up and throwing away items caked with mud and other possessions ruined by the floodwaters. The evidence of the devastation can be found all across the county, unlike anything seen in other recent flooding events. At the Heineman Settlement School, volunteers are working to salvage pieces of history nearly lost in the flooding. Some are working to restore items, some more than a century old.
You know, we initially thought we were going to lose everything, honestly, because, we have a small staff, and in the first hours after the flood, that was the first thing we did. We tried to take records out of there.
The school director adds that plans are in place to move the school to higher ground and that this is the first time the school has been hit by floodwaters. Lloyd College in Knott County is planning to start school back on schedule. The president says the flood has affected many students and staff, but they are working hard to get their students back on campus.
When things like this happen, either you crawl in a hole and hide, or you say, what can we do to make things better? And our goal here at Lloyd College is we want to start school on time. We have students that have no homes, and we want them here, a place they can have electricity and water and have some normalcy.
Employees say they need water, non-perishable food items, shovels, and rakes to help with the cleanup. Well, W.B. Muncie Elementary has turned into a community shelter for Leslie County. Truckloads of donations came pouring in yesterday, bringing in diapers, food, and more. The school is also providing shelter and showers for several people in need. Donations in Leslie County were initially going to Mountain View Elementary, but the National Guard has requested that school to be set up a temporary base of operations.
Like we said, we started at Mountain View, and then we've been contacted with the possibility of hosting the National Guard. And so we had to transition the shelter to here to W.B. Muncie, and then start setting up everything with cots and portable showers.
We're told Mountain View will soon be home to 150 to 200 National Guard soldiers that will then aid in recovery and relief efforts throughout the area. Many businesses and organizations across our region are doing what they can to help with recovery efforts. Juniper Health set up a mobile base camp at Marie Roberts Elementary where it is helping those in need. The chief medical officer said it was surreal. It was a surreal experience seeing the destruction for the first time.
Right near ground zero of the catastrophic flooding here in Breathitt County, trying to provide real-time access to health care. We're not only providing medical health care, we have behavioral health specialists, etc. up here to try to meet everybody's health care needs.
The clinic is taking it day by day with hours and services, but they anticipate being there for a little while and will be there till they believe the need is met. Well, yesterday, Attorney General Daniel Cameron helped flood victims in Breathitt and Knott counties. He delivered supplies and served meals to flood victims in those areas. In his post, he says it was an honor to spend time with such generous and resilient Kentuckians. Congressman Hal Rogers visited flood relief donation centers and shelters yesterday. He says he is saddened for the people of his district, but knows the spirit of the mountains is alive as Eastern Kentuckians begin recovery. He says help is coming from all across the country.
In fact, I just had a call this morning from a congressman in Louisiana who wants to send a lot of his staff up here to help us out, and we're going to say okay.
Congressman Rogers says the individual assistance President Joe Biden recently approved will be helpful to those impacted as they move forward. Well, thank you so much for getting your Tuesday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we come back, a Kentucky appeals court makes a decision on the future of abortion here in the Commonwealth.
We're still tracking some rain coming into the region this morning. I'll have how long our next break will last before more moves in about 3 minutes.